good evening. I'd like to welcome you to Immigration Forum. I'm Carolyn Schoenberger from the Chicago Legal Clinic, and I want to welcome Michael Collins, who is with the Chicago Irish Immigrant Support Organization in Chicago. Welcome, Michael.
Yep, thank you for having me.
So we're thrilled to talk about the different services that is offered by the Chicago Irish Immigrant Support. But first I'm going to talk a little bit about the Chicago Legal Clinic. And I want to remind everyone that, number one, there is no new law. There is no new law that is proposed. And also that you are still entitled to due process in the event you were detained by immigration. And the third point is that this United States Supreme Court in 1915 ruled that children who are U.S. citizens born in the United States cannot be deported. So I think in this climate it is very important to stress those 3 points. So we have an interesting show this evening, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Chicago Legal Clinic. The Chicago Legal Clinic was founded by 2 new lawyers in 1981, Bishop Thomas John Poprocki and Ed Grossman. They had just finished graduating from DePaul Law School and had just passed the bar. And they located their first office in South Chicago, where there had been a lot of very active steel mills. But in the late 70s, early 80s, when they started closing the steel mills, at that point in time, people lost their jobs, they lost their homes, the local businesses went out of business, and there was no place people could go to for legal help. So the Chicago Legal Clinic was founded first as the South Chicago Legal Clinic for Immigrants, and later, as more locations were added, it became the Chicago Legal Clinic. And the Chicago Legal Clinic was there to serve people who maybe someone was working in the family, but they did not have enough money to go to a private lawyer. Today, there are 4 offices of the Chicago Legal Clinic: South Chicago, Pilsen, Austin, and downtown. Additionally, there are offices in the Circuit Court of Cook County that offer assistance for name changes, foreclosure defense, and varied child support, and a free clinic for students at Harold Washington College, where I'm a professor. So, in the event that you have any problem that is a legal problem, particularly concerning immigration, concerning Social Security disability, if you're a victim of domestic violence, if you need assistance with real estate, please call our offices from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Call 773-731-1762, 773-731-1762. Please call between the hours of 9 and 5 on Monday through Friday. So now I'm going to talk in Spanish. So, me llamo Carolina Schoenberger, soy abogada con la Clínica Legal de Chicago, y quiero decirle un poco de la Clínica Legal de Chicago. Fue establecido en 1982 por 2 nuevos abogados que querían ayudar a la gente del sur de Chicago. Antes de 1980 había muchas acerías en el sur de Chicago, pero cuando empezaron a cerrar las acerías, mucha gente que estaba trabajando en las acerías han perdido su trabajo. También los negocios en el sur de Chicago sufrieron por la falta de clientes. En este barrio no había ninguna oficina para ayudar a la gente, ninguna oficina que podía ayudar a bajos costos. Entonces, los 2 abogados nuevos establecieron la Clínica Legal de Chicago en un solo cuarto. Más que 23 años más tarde, hay 4 oficinas en los barrios de Chicago, en Pilsen, Austin, al centro. También hay 2 oficinas en las cortes que ayudan con asuntos de mantenimiento, foreclosure. Y hay una oficina en Harold Washington College, donde soy profesora. Entonces, si tiene preguntas sobre inmigración, violencia doméstica, bienes raíces, seguro social de incapacidad, hay de llamarnos por una cita entre las horas de las 9 y de las 5 de la tarde, el lunes hasta el viernes. Por favor, llame 773 731-1762, 773-1762. Ahora, quiero decir tres cosas muy importantes. No hay ninguna nueva ley, primero. Segundamente, si está detenido por inmigración, tiene la derecha de pedir por una audiencia con un juez. Y tercer, hay una decisión de la Corte Suprema de los Estados Unidos que no podemos deportar a los ciudadanos. Fue la decisión está más que 100 años. Hace más que 100 años, la Corte Suprema de los Estados Unidos declaró que no puede declarar ciudadanos. Entonces, si tiene preguntas sobre inmigración, podemos llamarnos ahora o podemos llamar en el número 773-731-1762. Okay, so during this program, if you have any questions about immigration, about the Chicago Irish Immigrant Support, please call the number on your screen. We're happy to answer your questions. Please make them questions about immigration. We're looking forward to, again, talking together, talking with Michael and talking with you about various problems. So having said everything, welcome again, Michael.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So if you could please tell us a little bit about Chicago Irish Immigrant Support. I'm going to get it right one of these days.
One of these times. That's all right.
Okay. So who are you all?
Sure. Yeah. So we were formed back in 1998, so we're coming up on our 20th year. We were formed as an immigration and social services support group. At the time, we were Chicago Irish Immigrant Support was formed in collaboration with the Archdiocese of Chicago, and we were formed because there was a real need with the undocumented population in Chicago, and so we were sort of formed out of that.
Today, are you also associated with the Irish Consul General, the consulate here?
Yeah, we are. The Irish government, through the Department of Foreign Affairs, is one of our largest funders. We are funded by a program that's called the Immigrant Support Program, which funds many sort of cultural and direct service organizations throughout the world, really. But we're one of 12 Irish immigration centers in the United States.
And you're located north of Chicago in a center?
Yeah, we're located out of the Irish American Heritage Center. We're on the third floor of that building. And the address there is 4626 North Knox Avenue in Chicago. We're Suite 301, and that is in the Mayfair area.
And I have to tell you that, having been there, they have the best Irish gift shop anywhere outside of Dublin.
Yep.
So it's really fabulous with even things that you can eat. Just to mention, if someone wanted to contact you, how would they do that?
Sure. Our main forms of contact are either through email or by telephone. So our telephone line is 773-282-8445. And you could email our generic email line, which is info@chicagoirish.org.
And if you can just talk about some of the services that you offer to people.
Sure. Yeah. So we provide direct legal services with the help and collaboration of the Chicago Legal Clinic. You could register for one of our legal clinics. The first consultation is free. You have to call our number and we will schedule you in. And any sort of services after that, we will work out between ourselves. We also have a full-time social worker that deals primarily with the aging Irish community. And the idea being that there's two main issues within the Irish community in Chicago, and that is the new arrivals who generally need immigration assistance, and the people who have been here for a long time who need a lot of social support. Through our social services, we do a lot of enrollment in public benefits, Social Security, Medicare, that type of thing, as well as case management and in-home check-ins.
And what kinds, so, when people think about immigrants being here, certainly the Irish community played a large part in the founding of Chicago, but usually people don't associate people having immigration problems with the Irish community, and we
Yeah.
know that's false.
Right. Yeah, it is false. I mean, the Irish, they're English speaking. They tend to blend in well in American society due to sort of the close relations between their two countries. But I think that people are starting to recognize that the Irish do have immigration issues as well. I know Billy Lawless, who's now is a local Chicago immigrant advocate, has now just been appointed to the Irish Senate. He introduced President Obama when he announced his executive action, and I think that was eye-opening for a lot of people as they did begin to realize that there are Irish immigration issues as well.
And if I recall, it was Senator Kennedy who started the diversity lottery.
Yeah, it was. And at that time, actually, it was the Irish Prime Minister, Taoiseach Sean Lemass, requested that Ireland get a lower percentage of that lottery because he wanted to stop the brain drain from Ireland, and that in turn has caused some issues since then. So
maybe you can tell us just a little bit about the diversity lottery, just very, very briefly.
Sure. Yeah. So it's the diversity lottery. It's actually open now. So if you're watching, you can apply. I believe it's until November 6th. Is that right? November 6th, I believe. And the diversity lottery is essentially, you can register, and it's a green card lottery, and it is just exactly that. It is a lottery. So you could apply online. If you type into Google, it's simple enough. I believe it's through the USCIS website.
That I don't remember, but they give out twice as many people win as there are visas. So if you win,
right,
you got to move quickly.
Yeah, you do, absolutely.
So you would apply now, and it's like picking a number.
Yeah.
And once you pick the number, then your number's picked. What do you do?
Well, usually there's the consulate or the embassy in the country that you're based, or if you're in the United States, they would contact you and let you know that your number was picked, and I believe they would give you a set of directions that you would need to follow at that time.
So essentially, this applies not to people who have countries that have the bulk of the visas, China, Mexico,
Right.
the Philippines, but to others where
Exactly,
there are
yeah.
fewer visas that are designated for those countries.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
very exciting when that happens.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Ireland traditionally has gotten a very low number. I believe it was in about 175. They were pulled in 2014. I was looking at it just recently. So, yeah, I mean, Ireland is hoping to get more. So, if you're watching, please apply.
Okay, so we think it's through USCIS.
Yep.
If it's not there, it'll be statedepartment.gov.
Yep.
So be one of the other, and hopefully you have your passport that is good.
Yeah.
But if it isn't, apply anyway, and then go and renew your passport.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what other advice would you have to anyone applying for the diversity visa?
I mean, I would look at the directions. I mean, there's directions on the website, but look at other sources as well. You want to make sure that you do everything correctly. You don't want to put in a bad application and have it be rejected. So make sure you follow the directions extremely carefully.
And if there are any questions, because I'm sure there are some qualifications,
Yeah.
it's important to reach out and ask someone, because if you say something that turns out not to be accurate, that can cause some problems. And if, certainly one of the groups that you can reach out to is the Chicago Irish Immigrant Support.
Yeah, we're happy to take as many phone calls as possible.
So it'd be a good thing. So what other kinds of immigration issues do you find that you encounter?
Sure. So with the Irish, there's a lot of, most people will have entered on a visa due to the geographical location. They do not share a border with the United States.
So building a wall wouldn't help?
No, it'd have to be a very tall wall.
Yeah, I guess so.
But we see a lot of family-based immigration within the Irish community. A lot of people getting married a lot of Irish people getting married to American citizens. But I mean, you see a bit of everything. You see people who would like to apply for an H-1B, or we see a lot of J-1s actually. They're sort of younger, recent graduates who come to the United States
so
for a year.
a J1 is someone who is doing an internship.
Yep. Yeah. It's a year-long internship visa that is for recent graduates. And Ireland there tends to be a lot of Irish that come out on the year-long J1. We see a lot of summer J1s too, but that's a little bit of a different story.
So with the J1 visa, many times you have to return to your country of residence for 2 years unless the country waives it. Does Ireland waive the 2-year residency requirement?
Ireland does not have that requirement, no, which is very confusing for a lot of immigration lawyers. But Ireland does not have that requirement, so that is waived.
It would say so either on the visa or write residency requirement waived, or it would say 2-year residency requirement. I once handled a case from Poland where someone made a mistake and did not know they were subject to the 2-year residency requirement.
Really?
And we had to go through the State Department, first to Poland and then the United States. It was a big mess. But in the end, it worked out okay. But
yeah, I think with a lot of the 2-year residency requirements, that usually involves some sort of government training program. Am I correct in that?
not always. Not always.
Yeah.
It could be something different. It could be that the country just wants to make sure that people don't stay here.
Sure.
And that people who are educated, usually it's for some kind of educational purpose or having a skill that they go back. But I don't exactly remember, but I don't think it was government related that the person that I helped was here.
Yeah.
Do you have to be Irish to get your assistance?
No. Irish is just our Irish clientele is just a percentage of our overall clients. Obviously, we see a lot of Irish clients because that is our origin, that's our funding, and that's the community that we were formed to assist. But we assist anybody that comes through our door. So if you have an immigration question and you're not Irish, do not hesitate. Please call us. We're happy to help.
So again, there is a workshop that is on the 20th.
We have one on the 25th of October and then another one on the 2nd of November. Generally, we try to have 2 a month. So please give us a call, and by that time, maybe we'll have one later in the month of November.
Okay, we're going to work on that.
Yep.
And again, it's important to get an appointment. You don't have just people wandering in.
Yeah, we're by appointment only for our legal services, and preferably for our social services as well. Although you could just pop into our office and, we might schedule you an appointment at that time. Everybody's welcome through our door, but whether we'll be able to assist you immediately, we would have to see. It depends on our capacity at that time.
So again, if you could just give your web address and the phone number, I think that would be helpful to people who are looking.
Sure. Yeah. So our web address is very easy. It's www.irishchicago.org. Our generic email is info@irishchicago.org. Our main telephone line is 773-282-8445.
So your 20th anniversary is coming up. Are you going to do anything special?
We're planning to. We're working on a casino night, but that's not for our 20th anniversary. So around this time next year, we should be in full swing for our anniversary, which is very exciting, actually. So
no, it is very exciting. It's I think it's wonderful that the Irish government supports this. I think it's fabulous.
Yeah. I mean, it is an excellent program that the Irish government have, and we're very lucky and very fortunate to work with them.
Well, and I think also it helps people remember their roots.
Right.
That no one just sprouted out of the ground here. That we all either came here as immigrants or our family did.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important. So. Tell me a little bit about the social services, help people get food stamps, and what about Social Security, disability, or?
Yeah, exactly. We do enrollment in all sorts of public benefits, and we also do a lot of casework. So the problem with a lot of the aging Irish is sort of self-seclusion. Sometimes they move out to the suburbs, and it's very hard for them to to engage with others and have sort of a social atmosphere. So we do senior meetings once a week. Every other week it is on the north side, and every other week it is on the south side. They take place on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. So if even if you don't have any immigration questions, if you're just looking to get involved in sort of a senior social group, please give us a call, and we'll be happy to introduce you to our group.
Where are the meetings held on the south side?
They're held at Chicago Gaelic Park.
Okay, I don't even know where that is.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's on 148th Street. It is by Oak Lawn,
Okay.
down there on the south side. I don't know the exact address off the top of my head, but it is on 148th Street.
So it's near the Beverly area, the Oak Lawn Beverly area.
Exactly, and it's a beautiful facility they have there. They have nice GAA, which is the Gaelic Athletic Association. They have the football pitches surrounding the center. It's beautifully done inside. So if you're into Irish culture and things like that, it's a good place to go visit anyway.
And so the Irish American Heritage Center on the north side, what kind of activities are sponsored there?
Well, there's a wide range of activities. They just had, this past weekend was the Irish Books, Arts, and Music event. So that took place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they had a lot of the best Irish artists, Irish musicians, and things like that at the center. They had a big awards dinner. And so it's a great cultural event. They do a lot of banquet events. They do a lot of weddings. Actually, Lyft is now in our building as well, which is good.
That's interesting.
The Immigration Center is there. There's loads of different social groups. There's a beautiful library on the second floor. There's a museum. There's a pub down on the first floor. And as you mentioned, the gift shop right as you walk in.
Absolutely fabulous gift shop. With all kinds of treats from Ireland, too.
Yeah. It's hard to resist when you're leaving work sometimes.
So if someone wanted to find out more about activities at the center, how would they do so?
They would. You could call our office. We're based out of the center, but you could call the Irish American Heritage Center, or you could visit their website. And their website is www.irish-american.org.
That's great. And are they open 7 days a week? What is their...
Yeah, their hours fluctuate. They are open from sort of sunrise to sundown, depending on the event. So if you call, generally call during business hours and someone will pick up the phone. But if you'd like to host an event, it doesn't matter what time the event it will be on. They'll be willing to accommodate you.
So we're expecting not only a lot of people to have an interest once the election is finally over, to get more information about either helping someone immigrate, becoming a U.S. citizen,
right.
Renewing a green card, and again, for a free consultation, you can contact Michael by calling. Yep. The number is 773-282-8445. Or let's see if I get that. info@irishchicago.org.
Yep, exactly. And we're open. Our office is open from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. We do fluctuate sometimes. Our clinics are held in the evenings, but those are our business hours if you'd like to call us.
Well, I want to thank you so much. I'm very excited about our collaboration, and want to thank you for coming on the program. You're welcome to come back and to promote your wonderful programs. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I know this is a time of great anxiety. Please remember, what makes America great is the fact that we have a Constitution and that people actually follow it.
Yep.
So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call the number on the screen. Also, I will see you back a month from now. We're going to have someone from the Chicago Legal Clinic talk about expungements, sealing of records, and pardons. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight, and again, have a good evening. Thank you.